Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. I say the things on here that nobody dare say. You know that, right? Let's let's have a little look in the boxing industry today. What's going on, right? But before we start, can I give a big shout out to Human Nutrients, my sponsors, and those boxers and rugby players that have been buying the product. You're not daft, are you? So well done. It's going in the right direction. So okie dokie. Right, the WBC they put a statement out. We be crooks. I don't call it the World Boxing Council. I call it We Be Crooks. This is an organisation that have got Crusher Ben ranked number 4 at welterweight, but he hasn't fought there for 3.5 years. Next welterweight fight he has will probably be after 4 years. If he can even go down to welterweight after fighting there 4 years ago, that's dangerous. He's in his 30th year now, Crusher Ben, so he's hardly next gen, is he? But what sort of organisation has a man ranked number 4 in a division that he ain't fighting at? It's crazy, isn't it? He's had 2 fights at 154, and he's on his second fight next month at 160. So why is he in the rankings, Sullivan? You corrupt piece of shit. So, but the WBC, they're welcoming Dana White and Zuffa Boxing into boxing. Well, they're going to have to play the game, aren't they? Because Dana White's connected to Triple T, innit? Tea, towel, turkey. So, well, they'll just want to play the game, but Dana White's not going to go that route. They're going to get rid of the Muhammad Ali Act. Oh, yeah. Donald Trump's his pal. So that'll be gone soon. And they'll have their own organisation, won't they, then, like UFC. Now, they've got 450 fighters on books, all ready to go. I don't know what level these fighters are, what levels they are, but I'm hearing a lot of them are from Saudi, kids turning pro and stuff. So maybe it's an overhaul that boxing needs. You know, the status quo, your Brick Tops and Eddie Hills and Top Rank. I mean, Top Rank have not even got a TV deal at the moment, no platform. But them lot are pouring piss on it, aren't they? Because they don't want to see Dana White get on. But I look at it like this. I'm open to hear anything to make the sport better. And I think it could be all right. I think it could be. I mean, the UFC is fantastic, isn't it? They make everybody fight each other, don't they? So, but Dana White's saying that he don't want to work with WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF, IBO. And I can understand why. I mean, for years, we've been starved of fights, haven't we? Look how long it took for us to get Manny Pacquiao against Floyd Mayweather. We're still waiting for Joshua Fury. They're not going to fight till there's nowhere to go. They'll be pushing 40 when they fight them, so that ain't coming anytime soon. They'll want to mop up all the crumbs leading up to that. If Joshua gets knocked out 5 times in his next 5 fights, what will happen is simple. He'll just keep fighting because he's commercially viable, according to Eddie Hills, the 7-0 Iceman from Billericay, 5 by way of. So we're going to see. We will see what appertains, but good luck to Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. Pretty shit name, I think, but it is what it is. So, okie doke. Right. Matchroom are going to work with Riyadh season to put on darts and snooker as well as boxing. Eddie brassing himself off to Turkey. Eddie would love to sell up money to Turkey. They'd love to bail out, wouldn't they? I don't think Turkey's interested in buying it. No. If he was, he would have done it by now, wouldn't he? When he can just pluck them and put them to graft like little minions running around, putting darts and snooker on. If you can do that, he'd be happy, Turkey. He'd be happy, but we're going to see. I mean, 5 year down the line, will Turkey even be in the mix? Because it can change by the day over there, can't it? So I see Eddie Hills and Turkey falling out down the line. That's what I see happening. I do, but it is what it is. I see them falling out, and I see a bit of intense beef. So what else has been happening in the sport of boxing last few days since I've been on Button Moon? Well, Jamie Moore, he's piped up. Good old Jamie Moore. He's saying he wishes Jack Catterall all the best after a decade together. Jack decides to leave him to go to pastures new and pay a trainer who's not put the time in with him. And Jamie Moore wishes him all the best. Jamie, you know, and your mate Travis, Nigel Travis, Fireman Sam, you know that that's a load of bollocks. But you just had to come out and say that to show that you're a bigger man. But that's bollocks. Why don't you come out and do an interview and say Jack Catterall's a two-faced slime ball and he left you after all the hard yards you put in? Why don't you come out and say that? You'd have more respect. Because if that was your true opinion, you will be the only trainer that I've ever heard of in the sport of boxing wishing a fighter all the best. Hey, if that is true and you think that, you're a weak man. So come out and say your bit, all right? Or don't say anything, but coming out with statements like that, I don't believe it for 1 minute, and nobody who I know in the industry does. So embarrassing, but that's boxing, isn't it? People have to put statements out that's knackers, pure lip service, but I don't believe that. So, like I said, nobody else does. Uh, Willie Hutchinson stopped Jeffers. Well, Jeffers is not really a proper light heavyweight, is he? So he were only donkey fodder. So that were a gimme fight really for Hutchinson, and he were expected to knock him out. I want to see Willie Hutchinson against Joshua Buatsi rematch. That's what I want to see. I thought the first fight were a good fight, and I think that's a good rematch to be had down the line. I don't know what's everybody else's opinion on that. Would we like to see Willie, Big Willie, against Joshua Buatsi? We will see. Oh my God, somebody's just sent me something here. Amir Khan coming back and he wants barriers. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is that where we're at in the sport of boxing now? Amir Khan coming back for one last payday. It's always just one more payday, isn't it? Just one more. We just need one more payday. I've got something left in tank. Give me a few million. I'll get in ring and sell another loss on my record. Hey? How embarrassing. How embarrassing. Well, that's what you're up against, isn't it, now? People think they can just ring the dinner bell, rattle the money box and get paid, don't they? No. We're approaching 4 years in February since Amir Khan last fought. 4 years. What next? Kell Brook coming back at 40-year-old? Eh? Is Kell Brook going to come back? Eh? Absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. Amir Khan needs to turn it in. You're not a businessman, Amir Khan. You're not a businessman. Settle for what you've got and stay out of that ring and stop abusing boxing fans. It's abusing the fans. These former champions that think they can just come back, like I just said there, and rattle the dinner bell. That's what they think they can do. Come back and take money out the sport. What about the next generation of fighters? That's what we need to be talking about. Not these has-beens that have messed up with money. It's a bit like these boxers that got the begging bowl out all the time, isn't it, really? Why should people give money to boxers that have pissed it up against the wall? It's their own fault, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So I've got no sympathy. And Amir Khan, if you've got dough problems, the answer's simple. Go and get a job at Amazon. They're always setting on. All right. So no, I don't want to see Amir Khan coming back. No, I don't want to see that at all. That'd be embarrassing. Let's see what else has been going on in Porky's boxer tricks. Don't believe in the hype, believe in the man, Steve Collins. Steve Collins, after all his bluster on TalkSport, calling for Eubank Jr. against his son, Steve Collins Jr. It's embarrassing, isn't it, really? Embarrassing. He just got beaten up by a Spanish journeyman on Bricktop's show in Scotland. How embarrassing. As I predicted. Now, if you all remember, a couple of years ago when he were a cruiserweight, Steve Collins Jr., who his dad, by the way, says he's an Irish rugby great. My God! Talk about hyping your son up. Well, he got flogged by Gary Corcoran, a light welterweight, and he were a cruiserweight in sparring. The father, Steve Collins, had to jump in the ring before the end of round one to save his neck. Gary Corcoran were just letting him go. A light welterweight, or if you want to be technical, a super lightweight, which is the same really, isn't it? But smashed him up. So that's when I knew that he wasn't going to do anything. And he's been out and come back. And they put him in with this donkey fodder. And he just got tore apart. Punched upside down. So my advice to Steve Collins Jr. is very, very simple, really. You're not a rugby player. You're not a boxer. Go and get a job at Amazon. Simple. And be happy. So be happy. But it is what it is, isn't it? But on the brighter side, his dad, Steve Collins, has been shortlisted to go in the 2026 Summer Hall of Fame in Canastota. So I personally don't think he'd get in because what is it since he's been retired? It's pushing 30 years, isn't it? So he's already missed out on 23 ballots. So what another one ain't going to make no difference, is it really? That's how I look at it. So his best wins, he beat Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank, who were old shot fighters, weren't they, at the time? So beating old shot fighters shouldn't get you in the Hall of Fame, should it really? Oh. But to be fair, I don't mind old man Steve Collins. I don't mind him, to be honest. No, he once were at a dinner show and there were some pals of mine there at this dinner show in Leeds. There were champions there and ex-fighters and current trainers and that. And Big Joe Egan's name were mentioned. Wasn't it, Joe? I know you're listening. And Steve Collins piped up and said he don't believe that Big Joe Egan sparred Mike Tyson. So Joe obviously believes it in his head. Like I've said before, and I say it again, once you tell a lie, you've got to tell another, and you've got to keep the lie going, haven't you? So, but it is what it is. So, Rhino versus Macbedoff this Saturday coming. Porky, who have you got? Says Jonathan, who emails me every day, 4 and 5 times a day. I hope you're not rooting around in my fucking dustbins, Jonathan. Eh? Anyway, the lazy rhino I've got to lose. In my opinion, I think he loses. I'm not buying into all that. I'm stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet. I'm doing it for my kids and my nana and granddad and all that knackers. I don't buy into that. And I've lost weight and all that. Look, I don't buy into shit. When you get to 34-year-old and you say I'm taking it serious, it don't wash with me. It means you've just been taking a piss on fans for the first 15 years of your career. That's how I look at it. You got to tell it straight, haven't you, really? Now, I'm a stat man, me. When I look at statistics, Rhino don't throw enough. Yeah, he's got that big bolo punch, hasn't he, and blah de blah, but he don't throw enough for me. That's just how I feel about it. His last decent win were a 20 stone, 40-year-old Lucas Brown. That was 6.5 years ago. Since then, who's he beat? He's beat a few journeymen on big Ron shows who were there to lose. And he stopped a college rugby player, Elmer Fudd. That's it. That's the Rhino story. The rest of it is Rhino being good on social media and being friends with all these tech guys that can advise him how to get views and subscribers. That's the bottom line. It's all good marketing. He's taking it serious. He's with Jamie Moore now. It's a perfect fit. We've got Adam Cattrall and Spencer Oliver tossing each other off over this fight. But if you look at this guy, he's fighting. He wrestles grizzly bears. I mean, how could you beat a man that wrestles grizzly bears? What a pantomime. But I think the other kid's got a bit more in his locker than Rhino. I'd like to see Rhino get paid well, though, because I think that selling his arsehole to Eddie Hearn years ago for a pittance were a bit daft, really. A bit daft. It put years on his life, knocked years off his career, and for what? For chump change. Now Eddie's on back foot. He needs Rhino, doesn't he? So, look, it is what it is, but I've got Macbidoff to win in my bet. I've been wrestling with my conscience. I've got Macbidoff. So, what do I see next? Well, I don't agree with Spencer Oliver, but it'd be Wilder. And Cattrall talking Joshua. Look, Eddie Hills will have a plan A and a plan B for Rhino, what they're going to do next. He'll be dangling carrots so Rhino puts the effort in. He can talk about big paydays and this and that all he wants, but the proof is in the pudding. The plan A will be beat Macbidoff and you get Wilder, but probably be Joshua, right? Plan B, lose against Macbidoff. It'll be Dylan White and a crossroads fight. That's how they'll sell it. Well, they've still got the Elmer Fudd contract, haven't they, for a trilogy? So if Rhino gets a shallacking, they'll put Big Elmer in with him, I think. But Dylan White will be a possibility for one last hoorah. And they'll try and sell it as pay-per-view. Watch it unfold. Watch it unfold. But like I've said before, and I will say it again, it is what it is. All right, what next? Hey, are they going to dig Tom Little up? Hey? I don't know. Oh, Billy Joe Saunders, the abominable snowman. They could bring him back at heavyweight, couldn't they, against Rhino? So there you go. And finally, where is Big John Fury and Tommy Fumbles? Where are they hiding after their triathlete knackers and Great North Run knackers? Hey, where's Big John? Big John! Big Bad John. Where is he? That's all we want to know. Nobody's seen or heard of him since his son got bladdered. Oh, there you go. Oh, God, Jonathan again. Frotch says he'll fight Darren Till. Oh, my. Is anybody even interested in that now? Hall of Fame guys calling out non-boxers. What is happening? What is happening? Frotch has got to be trolling everybody with that, hasn't he? Why would a multi-millionaire with a fit missus, three beautiful kids in private school, Porsches and Range Rovers parked right outside his house. Golf simulators. 50 properties, restaurants and law. Casino partnerships. Why would a multimillionaire like that want to be begging for a fight with Darren Till? He's absolutely winding everybody off the clock, aren't you, big conk? So, okie dokie. So there you go. So, big shout out, Human Nutrients. Thank you very much for that yesterday. Well, I put the graft in, and thank you to those boxers in the industry and managers that have been ordering the stuff. Makes me look fantastic. Makes me have a spring in my step. Go on, peace out. Don't forget to click the link pinned up in the comments section. And remember, health is wealth. Boomdaka! Max, don't ring me till you're in fact, Max, ring me when you get down to 22 stone. Because I know you're on your way then. Because walking about at 23 stone, Max, it's no good. Your heart's working twice as much. You're putting pressure on your organs, all right? You look after yourself. And stay off them pizzas. No good. No good pizzas, Max. It's the kiss of death. Peace out.